What is shaking, everybody? Welcome back to the Wormmaster channel. I'm your host Josh, and today we're going to be doing a little arts and crafts project. I'm going to be making a Father's Day present for my dad, who is an Atlanta Braves fan. I'm going to be making him a t-shirt that has the Braves logo on the front and his favorite number and his name in Thai, actually, because he's half Thai on the back. For my birthday, I got a lot of equipment for making your own designs on t-shirts. I'll put up a couple of my projects now so you can go, ooh, ah, yes, yes, thank you very much. Oh, okay. This process is a little bit lengthy, so if you're interested in specific steps in the process, those will be chaptered out throughout the video. If you're here just because you're a subscriber and you're only interested in the actual most exciting part of the video, my favorite part is when the colors actually go onto the t-shirt. So that step will be time-stamped here. Now that we're all on the same page, it's time to design a t-shirt. Quick rundown of the software and the materials I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be using GIMP as well as Pixlr. I'm going to be using those two image editing softwares in tandem because I believe one is better for one aspect of the project and the other is better for the other. And also Cricut Design Space, which is how we're going to be getting our designs from our computer onto the heat transfer vinyl that we're going to be using. That leads really well into the materials that I'm going to be using, which are heat transfer vinyl, which is a material that you can apply heat to and it'll activate an adhesive on the back, which will stick to clothing and water bottles and hats and all sorts of things, really. I'm going to be using a Cricut cutting device, which is basically like a 2D, 3D printer, if you know what that is. It's like robot scissors, pretty much. And I'm also going to be using a heat press. You can use an iron, but I'm going to be using a heat press that I got for my birthday. Links to all of these softwares and the materials will be in the description if you're interested in doing something like this yourself. So let's hop into it. So I've got up GIMP right now. I'm going to drag on the logo that I'd like to put on the front of the t-shirt. So this is what we got here. So what I'm going to want is just this A. I don't really want the trademark, and I don't want the background either. So I'm going to take those out. It looks like I might have to add an alpha channel here. There we go. Delete those so that the background is transparent so you can't see anything through it. Also squiggle this little guy out here. There we go. And now, okay, here's the part that we need to be in GIMP for. And now what we're going to do is we're going to select this red bit because I do want these to be different colors on the shirt. I'm going to select this red bit. I'm going to press Control X, which will cut it and also copy it to our clipboard. I'm going to open a new image project here, paste that right in. Click to new layer there. And this pretty much, these steps translate to pretty much any photo editor, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So now we have the red part of our logo that we want. Now we're gonna come and we're gonna take a bucket tool, there we go, fill all that back in. Why is the opacity? Turn that to 100, there we go. So now you can see we've got the white backdrop shadow to the red main doohickey that we're going to have on our shirt. We're going to go ahead and export both of these. I'm going to press Control-Shift-E in this program. So now that we have the A logo all set to go and print, I now need to make the numbers that I'm going to put on the back. So I'm going to open up Pixlr. Pixlr.com should take you right there. I'm using the advanced editor. I'm going to open up the text tool. I am going to import my font that I downloaded that I want to use. To do that, I'm going to add local font and then select the font I want, which is MLB Block. I just downloaded it from somewhere. I'm going to type my number. My dad's lucky number is 4, so I'm just go ahead and type that right in. Now we're going to juice this thing. We want this to be pretty high res. The higher the resolution, the less likely that it's going to be pixelated when you go to print it out, and the less trouble you're going to have in the Cricut Design Space program. Next, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to merge visible. I mean, when there's only 2 layers, any of these will do. Go up to filter, and I'm going to outline this 4. About like there-ish. That's a nice drop shadow to that. There we go. So now I'm going to save this as just 4.png or something. Back in GIMP, we're going to do the same steps. So we're going to open up our file here. I'm going to select the inside meat of the image, Control X, Control N, I guess would work. Paste that to new layer, and delete this one. Now we fill this back in. Boom. There's these little like lines, residual little inklings in here. We can just take a brush, kind of smooth that over. You can use Shift click to kind of make a line here. Speed up your process a little bit. Export that for foreshadow. Oh, what if we made it like the word foreshadow? Pun. This one will export as well. Make this forefront. I'm killing it with the puns today. There we go. And now we are done with the new image manipulation program. You don't really need to save changes. because you exported all your images. So now we're going to open Cricut Design Space. You may need to do some logging in, signing up action. I'm past that. I don't really know how to recap that. This software is free. If you're paying for something, you're doing it wrong. So you have a bunch of free trials everywhere. Once you get here, you're going to click on upload image. Unfortunately, you can do only one at a time. If you did a simple design, you can click simple, continue. We already did all of these steps earlier, so we can just apply and continue. Select cut image here and upload that. I'm going to speed through the rest of these. So now you can see we've got all of our images uploaded. I'm going to go ahead and click on these two. You don't need to shift click or anything, just these two right here. We're going to click add to canvas. So this is going to give you an idea of how big your print's going to be when you activate it on the Cricut. So right now this is a 16 by 16.5 inch huge logo. That's kind of massive. Not really looking for all that. I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down quite a bit. 7.5 seems a lot more reasonable. Let me find a ruler here. So this is the shirt I'm working with. My dad's lost some weight recently, so it's a medium. He went from large to medium. Congrats, Dad. You can't see the numbers on here super well, but if I were to point out, so a 7-inch logo would be about that big from the end of the ruler up to there. I'm thinking I can go even a little bit bigger. I'm thinking a 12-inch logo wouldn't be too much. For reference, here's a Red Sox logo that I made on a shirt a couple weeks ago with my friend Joey, and this one is about 11 inches tall. And I'm thinking I can make it about the same size. That way we could have matching shirts. How cool would that be? Let's do that. So now that I've decided on a size for my shirt, I'm going to make the height about 11 inches. I can do that up here in the, oh, what happened? I didn't lock the aspect ratio. Hold on. Make sure to press Control A when you're doing all this. That's very important to make sure that your objects get sized together instead of separately. So to avoid making it too big for my Cricut mat to be able to print, I am going to make this 10.5 inches high instead of 11, unfortunately. It'll be okay. So select Make It. That's going to bring you to this screen. If you're using heat transfer vinyl, make sure to click Mirror on both of your cuts. Because the way the transfer tape works, it'll cut on the side of the adhesive. So when you flip it over to apply it to a shirt, you need to mirror it to make sure that it looks right when you flip it over. So now I'm going to hand it over to the IRL cam. I'm going to voice over what I'm doing over there as I make the shirt. So let's do it. Oh. Okay, so the tripod attachment on my camcorder just broke. So this is going to be an interesting process to see if I can get the rest of this done. So I decided to go with putting my camera on literally the edge of my bed. It's kind of hanging over with a book stabilizing it. This is what we have to work with, so I'm just gonna bring everything into view and hope it works. Okay, so the first step, we're gonna get out our vinyl and a paper cutter, but scissors will do fine. We're gonna check how much vinyl we need. I'm guessing about 11 square inches based off the preview that Cricut was giving us. So I'm gonna get off an 11 by 11 square of white vinyl here, just send that paper cutter through. But again, scissors will work just fine. This is my mom's paper cutter. It actually has that little extension that pops out, so you can just measure it. I've been using a ruler, like to just extend like out of the bottom, and then I found that little doohickey. Then we're gonna throw our vinyl on our mat, and then we're gonna put our mat with the little arrow facing right in. We're gonna push that insert button on the Cricut. We're gonna click the continue button down there, and once that button's flashing, we're gonna go ahead and press that start button. It's gonna do its thing. We twiddle our thumbs for a little bit, play patty cake with nobody. When it's done, we're gonna eject it. We're gonna get out our weeder tool. Looking nice and dandy. It's literally a dentist thing. We're gonna just grab a piece of the edge of the vinyl with our tweezer, just pull that out, and then for the one on the outside, get up a little corner, and then you can use your hands to do that. I'm gonna separate, as you can see, I'm gonna separate those two slices, and I'm gonna go around one way around, and just kind of pulling on it. I trust the Cricut; it always cuts all the way through. And then so you pull the excess vinyl off of the transfer tape, and then once you have your logo, you're gonna pull that off. I had trouble getting my fingers under it, but that's what it looks like. Ooh, this is gonna be sexy. Then we're gonna throw our red vinyl down. After we've got the drop shadow, we're gonna throw down our main attraction here. Put that in the Cricut. Same steps again. Yeah, pull out our vinyl there, and quicken the process here. For time's sake, you all know what's up already. So that's what it looks like. And then we're gonna go ahead and preheat our shirt. I set my heat press to 320 degrees. You can use an iron for this, that'll work just fine too. After we heat it, we're gonna put down our first layer of vinyl, the bottom layer. We're gonna make sure it's nice and lined up, pick it up, make sure it looks straight. It's really important to have the first layer aligned. You just put it down for 1 second, put the heat on for 1 second, not very long at all. And then we peel that up really quick. And then we're gonna put down our second layer here. And this time we're going to put it under 320 Fahrenheit for 20 seconds to let all the layers really cure into the fabric of the cotton. So I sped it up just for time's sake. But after that, we're going to let it sit for a little bit to let the adhesive kind of freeze again. Make sure it's ready, and then after we peel it off, I mean, that looks pretty fire, if I do say so myself. It is the exact same process for the 4 on the back, so I went ahead and did that on my own without the cameras. And as you can see, now we have a matching shirt with my dad for Father's Day. Pro tip about these kinds of apparel items that you make at home is do not wash them on hot, and don't put them in the dryer either. I don't know what happens if you do. I haven't experimented with that yet, but it can't be good. I'm just expecting that it'll peel off and just ruin your shirt and perhaps even your appliance at home. So what I do is wash them on cold. If your dryer or washer has a delicate setting, that's what I do. And if I'm short on time, I'll put them in the dryer on air dry. Otherwise, I just hang them up and let them dry on their own. And you'll notice that it'll seem like the vinyl is a little bit more robust after maybe 1 or 2 washes. That's normal. Anyway, this was my semi-tutorial on how to make t-shirts at home. At the time of recording, Father's Day is a week away, but I really was excited about this project, so wanted to make a video on it now. If you guys really want my dad's reaction, let me know. That's all for now. Thank you for watching the War Master channel. I'm your host, Josh, and I will see you next time. Peace out.